It's 2 a.m. Your body is flat on a comfortable bed, in a heated room, behind a locked door. No predator is hunting you. No tribe is about to exile you. By every measure that mattered for 100,000 years, you are safe. And your heart is pounding like something is coming, over a message you can't even answer until morning. You feel chronically anxious in a life that, by any historical measure, is extraordinarily safe. Exhausted by a workday with no physical danger. Overwhelmed by choices that would have been unimaginable luxuries a century ago. And somewhere in there, you've probably wondered, what is wrong with me? Here's the reframe this whole video is going to earn. Nothing is wrong with you. You're running an ancient brain in a world it has never seen. And the gap between the two explains more than any personal flaw ever could. And stay with me, because once you see the mismatch clearly, I'll give you 3 concrete things you can actually change. Not hacks, conditions your brain was built to need. The human brain was shaped over millions of years by conditions radically different from the present. Small groups, physical threats, immediate feedback, clear hierarchies, limited information, caloric scarcity, predictable rhythms of light and dark, effort and rest. The modern world inverts almost every one of those. Endless low-grade information, social comparison at global scale, constant connectivity, decision abundance, broken sleep cycles, still bodies, abstract threats with no physical resolution. The brain wasn't weakly designed for this. It was never designed for this at all. And the systems that kept your ancestors alive, hypervigilance to threat, sensitivity to rejection, craving for calorie-dense food, the stress response, are all still running, unchanged. They read social media like predator pressure, an unanswered message like a threat to your place in the group, a full fridge like famine is still coming. For many people, chronic modern anxiety isn't a broken mind. It's a well-built alarm system responding to inputs it was never calibrated for. A quick, honest caveat. Because this channel doesn't trade in easy answers. This is a lens, not a diagnosis. Anxiety that's severe or that's taking over your life is real and deserves real care. A reframe is not a replacement for it. And mismatch itself is a framework scientists still argue about, not settled law. Hold it as a useful way to see, not the last word. But here's the strange part. Think about the last time a single critical comment on something you posted ruined an afternoon, while 10 kind ones barely registered. That imbalance isn't a character weakness, it's your negativity bias, a brain built to treat one negative signal as more urgent than 10 positive ones. When the negative signal was a rustle in the grass that might be a predator, weighting it heavily kept you alive. When it's a stranger's comment on a photo, the same wiring just quietly wrecks your day. That's the whole idea in one moment, and it has a serious scientific spine behind it. In 1994, 2 scientists put a name to it. Randolph Nesse, a psychiatrist at the University of Michigan, and one of the people who founded the whole field of evolutionary medicine. And George Williams, of Stony Brook, one of the most influential evolutionary biologists of his generation. Their framework was simple and radical. Many modern afflictions, chronic anxiety and depression among them, are best understood as evolutionary mismatches. A system tuned for one world, producing broken outputs in another. Nesse's later work zeroed in on anxiety specifically. The anxiety system, he argued, was built for threats that were intermittent and resolvable. The danger comes, you act, it ends. Modern life hands it threats that are persistent, abstract, and never resolve. So the alarm never gets the signal that it's over. It just keeps running. And the ancestral world that shaped all of this even has a name: the environment of evolutionary adaptedness. It was mapped in detail by Leda Cosmides and John Tooby, a psychologist and an anthropologist at UC Santa Barbara, who together founded the field of evolutionary psychology. Their point lands hard. A huge amount of what feels irrational in you today was, in that world, exactly the thing that kept you alive. You can't update the hardware, but understanding the mismatch changes your entire relationship to what the brain hands you. So, here are the 3 concrete things I promised you. 1. Stop pathologizing normal responses to abnormal conditions. Anxiety inside infinite information, endless comparison, and round-the-clock stimulation isn't proof you're weak. It's an appropriate system reacting to inappropriate inputs. The question quietly shifts from "what is wrong with me?" to "what am I asking this brain to run on?" 2. Deliberately rebuild ancestral conditions. The brain runs better when some of its inputs match what it was built for: physical movement, real daylight, face-to-face contact, a clear end to the workday, stretches of genuine quiet. These aren't wellness luxuries. They're operating requirements for a system that evolved needing them. 3. Use the discomfort as a compass. When modern life feels unbearable, the notifications, the performance pressure, the comparison spiral, that feeling is signal, not noise. It's the brain saying, "This is not what I was built for." And that points you straight at what to remove from your life, not at what's wrong inside you. You are not broken. You're running an ancient brain in an unprecedented world, and the mismatch is real, structural, and not your fault. What's in your power isn't to change the brain. It's to shape the world around it, to look a little more like the one it was built for, and to extend yourself the radical generosity of knowing the struggle was never weakness. It's 2 a.m., and your heart is pounding at nothing. Now you know why. That's not a flaw to fix. It's the price of living in a world that arrived before the brain could catch up. If this reframed a struggle you've been blaming yourself for, share it with someone who needs it. And follow the channel. Neuro tips every week for the mind you're actually running.